In One Piece, there are some phenomena that are truly puzzling, yet they occur frequently in the world of pirates. They're both amusing and bizarre. Peculiar phenomenon number 1. Vastly different body sizes can still produce offspring. This brings us to Skopper Gabon, the recently introduced third member of Roger's crew. After many years in obscurity, it turns out Gabon already had a child named Colin in Elbaf. However, Colin's mother, Ripley, is a giant who stands more than 10 times taller than Gabon. This immediately makes people wonder how such a thing could happen. Perhaps Gabon ate the real rubber fruit? Many fans have offered reasonable theories about how Gabon and Ripley conceived a child, theories that, while plausible, are still quite extraordinary. The phenomenon of couples with huge size differences still producing offspring isn't uncommon in One Piece. For example, Big Mom, who is nearly 9 meters tall, somehow has children with members of the Tontada tribe. Proportionally speaking, that's even more impressive than Gabon's situation. Furthermore, Big Mom's descendants encompass most races in One Piece, suggesting that not only is body size not an issue, but reproductive isolation doesn't exist either. Other examples include Kozuki Oden at nearly 4 meters tall with his 1.9-meter wife Toki, Neptune at over 12 meters with Queen Otohime at just over 2 meters, Judge at nearly 3 meters with normal-sized Sora, Whitebeard at almost 7 meters with his rumored wife Toki at 1.79 meters, and so on. Theoretically, these pairings are possible. After all, there are more solutions than difficulties, but each one seems exceptionally challenging. A peculiar phenomenon number 2, secretly having children. The birth rate in One Piece is remarkably high, with children occasionally appearing out of nowhere, their parentage a mystery. Many pirates leaving behind descendants for various reasons is an extremely common phenomenon. Roger, for instance, fathered Ace despite knowing he had a terminal illness. Kaido has Yamato, Kozuki Oden had 2 children while on Whitebeard's ship, Neptune has 4 children, Judge has 5, and Big Mom's 85 children need no further explanation. Even characters who initially had no offspring eventually get some storyline suggesting they might. Examples include Whitebeard's suspected descendant Weevil, and Shanks's rumored wife Makino in East Blue with the baby she was holding. The Marines also have an increasing number of children appearing in the story. Many powerful figures having siblings is becoming increasingly common, and recent story arcs continue to introduce descendants of prominent characters. Interestingly, the cover page showing Makino holding a baby coincided with Oda welcoming his 4th daughter. Since Oda's paternal instincts flourished, perhaps due to this sentiment, the birth rate in One Piece has remained consistently high. In interviews, Oda has mentioned how his daughter greatly influenced his creative work, which explains the frequent tear-jerking father-daughter relationships, such as Kairos and Rebecca. Perona's character profile notes that she views Moria as a father figure, and the storyline between Bartholomew Kuma and Bonnie is incredibly emotional, demonstrating Oda's masterful portrayal of such relationships. Peculiar phenomenon. Number 3, low parenting commitment. This strange phenomenon derives from the previous one. While One Piece features many touching family moments, having children but not raising them is the norm. Pirates are busy seeking One Piece and then dying. Marines are busy catching pirates. For various reasons, many cannot fulfill their parental responsibilities. The Straw Hat crew epitomizes this phenomenon. Luffy has both a father and grandfather, yet his father left him with his grandfather, who in turn left him with Dadan. Nami's biological parents remain a mystery. Zoro was raised by Kushiro and his daughter Quina. Sanji was raised by owner Zeph. Usopp's father left to become a pirate. Robin's mother went searching for the true history. Chopper was adopted by Dr. Hiraluk and Dr. Koraha, and Frankie's biological father is suspected to be Quinn, but he was raised by Tom. Similar situations exist throughout Whitebeard's crew, creating the 2 extremes in One Piece: irresponsible biological fathers and incredibly loving foster fathers. Peculiar phenomenon number 4. The symmetry obsession continues steadily. To this day, while One Piece's pace of resolving plot points may vary, symmetrical relationships must be established clearly first. Upon his introduction, Skopper Gabon immediately revealed his title as Love Missionary. He teased Luffy, saying, "This is what Sanji will look like when he gets old." Well, Luffy corresponds to Roger, Zoro to Rayleigh, and Sanji to Gabon. The parallels are perfectly aligned. Even as Joy Boy's companions gradually emerge, we notice their configuration increasingly resembles the Straw Hat crew. Luffy undoubtedly corresponds to Joy Boy, Frankie to Emmett, Chopper to Zunesha, Shirahoshi, or someone related to Fishman Island, to the sacred Seike cup, Kazuki ancestor to Robin, and Ryuma from 800 years ago was possibly in Joy Boy's crew, corresponding to Zoro. Then there's Doflamingo and Crocodile. The two arcs they headline, Alabasta and Dressrosa, mirror each other in nation-usurping methods, subordinates' abilities, and character designs. Whitebeard and Garp, as remnants of the Old Era, exited in similar fashion. Old Era figures sacrificing themselves as rear guards for their disciples' retreat while being surrounded by enemies. And in both cases, their final opponents were the Blackbeard pirates. Similar symmetrical patterns, both major and minor, are countless in One Piece. Peculiar phenomenon number 5. People shrink dramatically when they age. One of One Piece's peculiar traits is that beautiful women become ugly when they age, but simultaneously, many people shrink dramatically. While there are exceptions like Rayleigh, who maintains his physique despite aging, those who shrink do so quite ridiculously, as if they're completely different versions of themselves. Binks, who taught Luffy the Rokushiki techniques, has almost shrunk from a towering man to Tontada size. Sumizu and her daughter-turned-grandmother were once curvaceous, but after aging, they became rounded blobs. Some can age through devil fruit powers, like Bonnie and Jewelry, but compared to their younger selves, they still shrink significantly. This indicates that shrinking with age in One Piece is both natural and widespread. Peculiar phenomenon number 6. Growing teeth without drinking milk. While drinking milk is a well-known tooth restoration method in One Piece, it's not the only way. Early on, when Buggy appeared, one of his subordinates initially had only 2 teeth in his upper jaw, yet he could seamlessly switch between having 2 teeth and a full set. It was quite confusing. If it was an animation error, consider this. After Luffy knocked out one of Buggy's teeth, Buggy immediately regrew it. Joseph, when first introduced, was also missing a tooth, either from scurvy or from being hit by Luffy and Usopp's cannon. After Nami revived him with acidity, he immediately had a full set of teeth again. After Zoro accidentally injured Usopp 3 times during fights, the tooth-deprived Usopp immediately regrew his teeth. Evidently, milk isn't necessary for tooth growth. After all, there's now the concept of life return, which allows one to inject consciousness for free growth into various body parts. Growing teeth is simple. With so many methods available for tooth regeneration, why does Blackbeard always have missing teeth? Perhaps he thinks it makes him look more like a pirate. Peculiar phenomenon number 7. Age is no barrier to love. Scopper Gaban shows us that in One Piece, body size isn't an issue, race isn't an issue, and age certainly isn't an issue. Couples or spouses with large age gaps are very common. Examples include 19-year-old Kazuki Odin and 26-year-old Lady Toki, 42-year-old Capone Beige, and 26-year-old Chiffon, Kairos and Scarlet with a 9-year age difference, and Neptune and Queen Otohime with a 24-year age difference. Roger was 53 when he surrendered himself, definitely much older than Rouge. Then there are rumored couples like 78-year-old Rayleigh and 64-year-old Shaki, 39-year-old Shanks, and 31-year-old Makino, and so on. Beyond legitimate marriages, there are fan-favorite pairings as well. 31-year-old Hancock falling in love with 19-year-old Luffy, Perona and Mihawk forming a Lolita older man combination, while Perona is also 4 years older than Zoro, Kozuki Hiyori being 5 years older than Zoro, and Robin being 9 years older than Zoro. Basically, a few years difference hardly counts as a gap in One Piece. Peculiar phenomenon number 8. Villains reform after their arc concludes. In One Piece, villains initially seem extremely evil, but gradually we come to appreciate certain aspects of their character. This speaks to One Piece's prowess in villain creation. Virtually everyone who has been Luffy's opponent has some follow-up story that shows the world isn't simply black and white. For instance, Crocodile's subordinates displayed unexpected ingenuity and loyalty in their cover stories as they tried to rescue him and their comrades. During the Marineford War, Crocodile's contributions were consistently excellent. The CP9 agents showed gratitude in their cover stories and earned the affection of small-town residents. Moria deeply valued his subordinates, and now that he's at odds with Blackbeard, the enemy of an enemy becomes a friend. Caesar served as the Straw Hat's tool throughout his journey, if not meritorious, at least laborious. Doflamingo showed tenderness toward his family members and displayed a gentler side in cover stories. Katakuri's teachings continue to benefit Luffy's combat prowess immensely. So when first watching One Piece, some settings may seem nonsensical. I didn't get it, let me watch it again. But as you continue watching, you gradually realize, yes, this is exactly how the world is.